Okay, we're here charging. Been plugged in at home. You know, regular outlet at my in-laws in Louisiana. Small town where there's no EV whatsoever. The only EV that they had here, and I knew, okay, but it's all about planning, right? Charging here, we plugged in, slow charging, regular 15 amp outlet, you get about 3 miles per hour charging, right? But how we did it, and I'm going to talk to y'all about this, showing y'all the car, right? This is our first road trip, but it's all about planning. Even though the app tells you where to stop to make your trip to your destination, as a rule of thumb, you should be also planning for your driving around town, and especially if there's no charging at the place, how much you're gonna move around. Now, there's plenty of cars here in the house. There's my in-law Sienna and the car and the auntie pickup truck, and we don't need to move around. But as you go through the trip or you ride in it, remember, it optimize your charging amount to make it to the next station and then make it to your destination. So normally the app will tell you how much you need to charge to continue on your trip. But what I did at 2 stops, especially my last stop, at 2 stops, I decided to go almost the full way. One, I charged like up to 70%, 80%. And the last stop in Slidell is a beautiful stop. I didn't record that stop. I'm gonna give y'all little short videos. I'm gonna make a video of all the stops on this road trip. So that way y'all can, if y'all on the East Coast and planning on driving, down 85 or down to the Gulf Shore side, or to Louisiana, the charging stops that you have on your way if you're coming from Georgia or North Carolina, anyway down 85. So the charging stations from Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana. Going back to this, right? So what I did when I stopped in Slidell, that was my last stop, right? And it put me to charge to get here with 36%, but I still decided to charge up to 100%. So we went to eat and charge 100%. It was a nice shopping plaza. So you got all kind of restaurants as an open plaza, all kind of restaurants, all kind of stuff, the good stuff there. So I suggest you stop. New Orleans charging station in Metairie, I think it's called. I read the reviews, and that's another thing. Inform yourself about the stops. Research, try to get Google pictures of the locations so you can get an idea of what you're dealing with. So if you want to make sure that you go in times that these places are open. For example, the one in, where it's called, my first stop was in Auburn. That one is a little shopping plaza. Everything was closed. We stopped there at 6 something. Jack's restaurant that is right in front of it, and I will show y'all in another video. You will see that this stop had what it had. It had the Jack's. It was open for breakfast. But then right down the street, on that road, there's McDonald's, everything. So we stopped at Dunkin' Donuts, got some coffee, and hit the road. Continue our trip. When we stop at our next stop in I think it was in Greenville. It's behind I think it's a Hampton Inn hotel, and right next to it is a Cracker Barrel. So if you need to use restroom or want to go for breakfast something, you got those options, right? Or either the hotel or Cracker Barrel. My wife walked to Cracker Barrel to use the bathroom. We wasn't ready for breakfast yet. Then we continue our trip. Our next stop was the Mobile stop. I charged extra in that. No, I charged extra in Greenville because that's the time that my wife was taking. Now the charging stops were supposed to be 10-15 minutes, so it was quick, right? Even 5 minutes. There was one that was like 5 minutes. I can't remember, but we extended them. The first one in Auburn, I was a little bit tired, so I extended it to kind of 30 minutes. So I took a little kind of mini nap in the car because I was feeling tired after we started. We get to Mobile stop. It was a good stop. We extended the charge a little bit more than what it was, but not too long, to keep going, making time. At that point, I started noticing that I was having problems with my tire, losing air on one of the tires. Know this, that I went the day before, because this week early, I started noticing that I was losing air on that rear tire. I put air, whatever, and it was kind of fine. So I went to Discount Tires for rotation and inspection of the tires to make sure whatever leak, if there was a leak or something. I took the vehicle there on Wednesday, and I was surprised when he was rotating the tires. I wasn't paying much attention, but I thought that I noticed, like, it doesn't seem like he's checking the tires, but I guess by taking them off, he was looking. But he said the tires are fine. There's no leak. There's no problem or nothing. It wasn't. So as I'm driving after Montgomery, I started noticing I'm losing air. So I made a stop on the highway. Like, I got off an exit. I stopped at a gas station. Good thing I have my air pump in the car with my Anker C1000, which I like use because I have my laptop and stuff. So if I need to plug in a regular AC outlet, I had that, which the Teslas don't have. Right? Of course, you got a 12-volt connection somewhere you can plug in something. But anyway, I wanted to do that. Not draw energy or power charging stuff from the vehicle. You know, on a road trip, so you want to conserve the battery as much as you can. I put air and start rolling, driving away again on 85. I think I was on 10 already. I forgot. And I noticed I was losing air again. But so I stopped. Where did we stop? No, I'm lying. We was kind of okay, and we made it to a mobile stop. We ate, blah, blah, and everything. Then when we left that stop, and we was back on the road, I noticed I was losing air, so I got off somewhere else between Mobile and Slido and went for Walmart. Found a Walmart. I bought some of that fixed flat just to try to see if I, to spray it in, and then another gauge for my tire because the one I had wasn't working. At this point, I got back on the road. The seal kind of seems to have been working on stopping Slido. 8, whatever, good. We hit the road. After Slido, we went full charge this time. Why? Because I knew now coming down here, I already have spoken with my father-in-law, the NLX station that was here at the Chevy dealer. NLX, as of today, Friday the 11th, discontinue all their services in North America. That's US and Canada. So any commercial or home chargers, whatever the app or the service, they discontinue the app from what the report says, and there's no customer support whatsoever. So pretty much dealers will be standing, based on the information, on bricks, right? So all those charging stations that NLX may have at some dealers, they're no longer working, okay? So my plan was I would come here, have enough to be here, be comfortable, and if I need to, I will go to Homa and use Charge Point Station. Homa is like 35 miles from here, so but I decided, let me drive around the hotels here. I'm in Morgan City right now, Berwick, Morgan City area, St. Mary Parish. So I will see if they got anything, the hotels that have been here by now, that you may have somebody that come down here for something. No, they straight up no EV action whatsoever, not even Walgreens, nowhere. Not even the Toyota dealer that may have some plug-in vehicles, right? You have plug-in vehicles. They're not showing that they have anything. But this Chevy dealer had the NLX. So before I did that, I went to check on the tire. Can you believe that the Discount Tire people didn't check properly and just everything was fine? My father-in-law, little small town, little 2-guy tire shop. They just took the tire off, spin it around, and saw the nail. A nail just straight up on the tread. And they took it off, and they actually did a great job. They took the tire off and they patched it. They didn't plug it, they patched it and sent me on my way. So I could have been stranded because of bad check from Discount Tire. Hey guys, y'all, I've been dealing with y'all, but that was a bad move. Sloppy, and I mentioned it to y'all that I wanted to make sure I was losing air to check for any leaks or any problems. going back to this, so now I know that I drove around town and see, hey, there's nothing. None of the hotels, the Quinta, ain't nobody, Hampton ain't nobody, Holiday Inn have a charger. As a matter of fact, even the guy at the fast restaurant, I was like, man, electric car down here, there's no charging down here. So it was funny. He was making fun of it, but but that's good. But I planned for it. Good thing I didn't install in my house a permanent charger. When I bought this 2021 a month ago, used, the dealer gave me a portable charger. By the way, at the house I would show you all, I installed a 1450 NEMA outlet so I could get 30 miles an hour charge. I did not need at home the big permanent one. For our use, daily use case on weekends, that was gonna work perfect, okay? But I got the adapter for the plug that you can swap it also now in this charger, this one that we have here, right? I can plug, it came like that, and I ordered the $45 for the 1450 adapter for it, so I can swap it and charge for the 1450. I got me the J1772 little adapter from Amazon to use it down here, going anywhere. So the situation, I'm sorry I'm long-winded here, but I want to give you a context on all this. By the way, if you like this, it's informational, please like and subscribe. I'm trying to get into making videos about stuff that I do, things that I use, but I'm not good at, I'm not saying I'm not good, just got a lot going on to be doing this, but I know I need to do it because it's people like me that are always looking for this information. And what I'm gonna give y'all is that here I went and planned for this. I come here, if anything, I go to Houma and go to the charge point stations in Houma. Houma is kind of a bigger town, and I drive there, get my charge. Now when I see charge point also in North area, so they're about 30 miles, 38 miles or 35 miles, either one of those. But in Houma, the Kia dealer have the charge point. And it says that they're only charging, I think, like 3 kilowatt or 9 kilowatt. So you're charging so slow that you're not getting what you supposed to be getting, right? Hold on. Give me a second, I gotta pause. Sorry, yeah, my in-law with my father-in-law with my sister-in-law just coming back from walking, but so I paused for a moment. Anyway, so I had to, what I had to do, oh yeah, so it's slow, and then they charge 17 cents per minute charging. We drive out there just to charge, and I'm just getting 19 miles an hour in charge. You know how much it's gonna cost me? And then if I sit an hour or do stuff around there for an hour to charge just 19 miles, it's not even a fast supercharger. I'm just wasting 35 miles driving there to get 19 that I'm gonna burn through coming back. So it's useless, right? Then I look at New Iberia one, also a Kia dealer. They've been charging just 3 kilowatts, and they're charging so slow. Like they charge you like $2 an hour charge. Oh no, $4 and something an hour charge. But again, it's slow. I might as well just keep it here like I had it since last night, and I gain in my mileage while I'm not driving, and I'm fine. And I can drive around town, I'm fine. And we got plenty of cars here, right? So I'm not stranded. You gotta have a plan, right? You gotta move with your extension cord, with your charger, if you're smart enough and you know where you're going. You're going to a place like home base, like to family or somewhere where you know you're gonna have fun. When you're sleeping, you leave that car plugged in and see how much you get. I get this regular 15 amp, you get about 3 miles per hour. So if you have no problem having it plugged in while you're not driving, and we're not planning on moving, we're down here for a family, a funeral and stuff, but it's fine. We're just relaxing. So I just leave it plugged in. Now, my plan is, because I know I have right now 50%, so I have like 170 miles, 150 something miles. I gotta check again. Right now, from charge, I had like 36%. I left it plugged in. Now I'm at like 50 something for certain, 56% or something. Maybe I'm at 60 now. But I knew I had enough. I charged fully a slide though. So I come down here and I have enough in case of the situation. What happens? I can drive. Now there's a supercharger station in Lafayette, but that's like 50 something miles, almost 60 miles. Yes, you get supercharged, but I'm actually using 120 miles pretty much to go and come back. You understand? So is it worth it? No, it's a Tesla supercharger. So my other one is the slider. So what I do, I'm fine. I can drive around, but I know I have good enough mileage to when the time comes that I gotta leave back to Georgia. In my route, I will go end up at Slido and charge like normal. I'm charged, fully charged or enough. At that point, I don't even have to fully charge because at that point, once I hit Slido, all the stations that I need to make it home. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and also try to ping this together, but I'm gonna try to maybe see. I'm gonna see. As a matter of fact, y'all stay right. I don't even know. Yeah, let me pause this recording, look at the app, and then come back to y'all. Once I put all this together in one little video, I know I'm getting long-winded, but what I'm saying is that you have to plan beyond the app showing you the planning. You know your destination. I had anxiety coming down. Last night I didn't get anxiety. I have more anxiety about the tire situation and upset than the range because I knew pretty much that what I was gonna face here already, that there was nothing here. But I know I was gonna be in a house. I know I wasn't gonna be driving around like crazy and I don't have to drive around. There's plenty of cars here. I can drive around if I feel like I have enough to drive around and stuff. But again, I have also where to charge when I'm not moving, not doing nothing. Unnecessary driving, it's not necessary, so just plug in and we good. But I'm gonna go back in the app, look how much I got right now at this very moment, charge and range. And also I'm gonna tell y'all if at this current moment, if I decide to drive back home, if I'm okay to make it, to slide it. I know I can't make it to slide it, but just to show y'all. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. So right now I have 53% charge. I got 146 miles. Okay, based on the Tesla app, when I put the route to go back home, right, it will put me to stop the charge in New Orleans with the current charge that I have, not in Slidell. Okay, but if I want to stop at Slidell, it says, I gotta, pretty much be at 70% charge. However, with 50%, I got 146 miles. And so right now with the charge that I have, I can make it to Slider. Slider is just 116 miles. Now, it's different things and conditions that affect. But again, I just know to get to 80%, it's 14 hours more of charge. Again, I do not have to, it's nothing really. We're just chilling here. There's cars, there's a van, everybody move. I can just leave the car just sitting there and get my charge. So I'm not worried. I'm not stranded. And it's stuff that you plan and know what you're doing. Planning is the key. Okay. Now, superchargers, they're still the best as you see this stuff. And I'm sorry, but now you know why, Tesla having a subscription model for other EV cars. And from what I remember, I heard or read that other manufacturers are gonna start making their cars supposedly with the type of connectors for the Tesla charging connector, because they are moving towards charging at Tesla with subscription. And the reason why, because the other EV networks either don't work or they're too slow. And this is my first experience, my first road trip, and it's just to see it seems like it's worthless. If you have no other option, that's what you go with. I wanted to buy a Lucid. Lucids look nice, but I'm glad I did the Tesla. It's a whole different thing, and don't get me started with the FSD. I got some information for y'all to tell y'all. I couldn't record much, because you know I don't have this. I didn't have this set up, nothing installed. I was just driving and seeing. But the FSD on a road trip, it took the stress out of me while driving. Just I'm pretty much most of it, 80% of the driving out, my hands were off of the wheel as long as you paying attention straight up. And it was in years of doing road trips in my regular cars, this was stress free. The seats are comfortable. The ride is smooth. Well, not smooth. This Model Y suspension, oh my God, it's horrible. I see why they were saying like the Model Y suspension is bad. But if the suspension was great, oh my God, if it was like my Range Rover suspension, this would have been, ooh, I think the best road trip ride ever. An FSD is very, very good. So I now learn how to manage it properly to how I want it when driving and how to make it react the way I want it to react. And still safely, even at some point, I feel like it was driving even better than me. You know, sometimes we hit the line or whatever, but it beeps. But when you have the FSD, you don't have to worry about that. It take the stress off. You just keep your hands ready to engage in anything because you can't trust technology like that. I'm a tech guy, and you can't just trust technology. And definitely you can't just trust the AI system in that sense because you never know. I'm malfunctional or misread information or something. Okay? But I'll leave y'all with that, and I will let y'all know later on how it goes with the driving. Going back to Slider. Okay, so I will have another video for y'all on that. Take care. Remember to like and subscribe. I'm just giving y'all some information. It's not much here, but just this. I just wanted to talk to y'all about this. See you soon.